Imagine for a moment, a child, barely 5 years old, reaching out for a toy, only to have another child snatch it away, turning their back with a dismissive giggle. The child's face crumples, tears well up, a tiny sob escapes their lips. Is it merely disappointment we witness here, or something deeper, something far more primal that registers in that little heart? The sting is immediate, almost physical, isn't it? That feeling of being pushed away, of not being chosen. Now, fast forward a bit. Consider a young professional. Let's say she's spent countless hours perfecting a presentation, poured her heart and soul into every slide, every data point. She believes in her ideas, truly. But then, her pitch is dismissed, quite abruptly, her innovative concepts ignored, perhaps even laughed off subtly by a senior colleague. The knot in her stomach, that sudden chill that runs down her spine, the overwhelming urge to just retreat, to disappear from that conference room. It's not just a professional setback, is it? It feels like a punch to the gut, a betrayal of effort, a devaluing of her very self. Or think about the crushing silence after a romantic proposal, made with such vulnerability and hope, is met with a polite but firm no. That hollow ache in the chest, the feeling of a literal physical blow, a wound that doesn't bleed outwardly, but leaves an undeniable, searing pain within. It's not just a broken heart, it's a sense of being fundamentally rejected, of being found wanting, of not being enough. We've all been there, haven't we? That moment when a friend excludes you from a plan, when a family member dismisses your feelings, when you're overlooked for something you truly desired. The pain, it's undeniable, visceral. It makes us question ourselves, our worth, our place in the world. But why? Why does something that isn't a physical injury feel so much like one? Why do our brains and bodies react with such intensity to a social slight? This isn't just about hurt feelings, you see. It's about a deep, evolutionary mechanism, a primal alarm system hardwired into our very being. Our journey begins millions of years ago, in the ancient plains and forests where our ancestors roamed. For early humans, survival was not a solitary endeavor. It was fundamentally a group activity. Imagine trying to survive alone against predators, harsh weather, or the sheer difficulty of finding food and shelter. It would have been virtually impossible, no? Being part of a tribe, a clan, a community, was literally a matter of life and death. The group provided protection, shared resources, companionship, and a collective strength that ensured continuation of the species. In this context, ostracism, being cast out from the group, was not just a social inconvenience, it was a death sentence. To be alone was to be vulnerable, exposed, and almost certainly doomed. Our brains, incredibly adaptive organs that they are, evolved to recognize this profound threat. They learn to interpret social exclusion, rejection in any form, as an existential danger, triggering the very same alarm bells that would ring if we were physically injured. It's like our emotional warning system is saying, hey, pay attention, your very survival might be at stake here. This is why, deep down, rejection activates those primal fears, making us feel like our basic safety net has been pulled away. It's not just a feeling, it's a biological imperative. Now, let's delve into the fascinating world of neuroscience to understand this phenomenon better. For years, scientists observed that people described social pain using the same language they used for physical pain. It felt like a stab, a punch, my heart ached. These weren't just metaphors, it turns out. Groundbreaking research using functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, has shown us something truly remarkable. When people experience social rejection, specific areas of the brain that are also responsible for processing physical pain actually light up. The key player here is often the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or DACC, a region associated with the distressing, affective component of physical pain, basically, the part that makes you say, ouch, not just because something touched you, but because it hurt. Alongside the DACC, other areas like the insula, which processes emotions and bodily states, also show heightened activity. This means that when you feel the sting of rejection, your brain isn't just imagining pain, it's activating some of the very same neural pathways that would fire if you, say, accidentally touched a hot stove or twisted your ankle. It's like your brain is saying, this is pain, whether it's from a bruise or a snub, so pay attention and do something about it. This isn't just some psychological trick, it's a hardwired response. The feeling of a broken heart isn't just poetic, in a very real sense, it shares neurological real estate with a broken bone. Beyond the neurological echoes, rejection also inflicts significant psychological damage. At its core, rejection is a profound threat to our self-esteem. When someone dismisses us, our ideas, or our affections, it often translates into an internal narrative: I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable, I'm worthless. This inner critic can be incredibly harsh, eroding our sense of self-worth and leaving us feeling inadequate. It's a direct assault on our sense of identity and competence, something that takes a long time to build up and can be shattered in an instant. Moreover, rejection strips us of our sense of control. In many situations, especially if the rejection is unexpected, we feel helpless, unable to change the outcome. This lack of control can be deeply unsettling, feeding into anxiety and the feeling of vulnerability. Humans, as a species, crave control, you see. We like to feel like we have agency over our lives, and rejection, often delivered by others, pulls that rug right out from under us. Then there's the fundamental human need for belonging. Psychologists like Abraham Maslow identified belongingness as a core human need, right after our basic physiological and safety needs. We are social creatures, we thrive on connection, on being part of something larger than ourselves. Rejection directly attacks this need, creating a chasm of loneliness and isolation. It makes us feel disconnected, adrift, and fundamentally alone, even when surrounded by others. This isn't just a minor discomfort, it's a deep-seated ache that resonates with our deepest social instincts. The emotional cascade that follows rejection can be overwhelming. Sadness is often the primary emotion, a profound sense of loss, even if what was lost was only a potential connection. But anger can also surface, anger at the person who rejected us, or perhaps even anger at ourselves for putting ourselves in that vulnerable position. Anxiety often accompanies rejection, a fear of future rejections, a worry about our social standing. And then there's shame and guilt, the internalized belief that we somehow deserve the rejection, that there's something inherently wrong with us. This cocktail of emotions can be incredibly debilitating, affecting our mood, our sleep, and our overall well-being. It's a heavy burden, no doubt. Cognitively, rejection can lead to rumination, where we endlessly replay the scenario in our minds, dissecting every word, every gesture, searching for clues, for reasons, for ways it could have been different. This obsessive thinking can prevent us from focusing on other tasks, making it difficult to concentrate at work or engage in daily activities. It's like a broken record playing in your head, always bringing you back to that painful moment. This cycle of negative self-talk and self-blame is incredibly damaging, keeping us trapped in the echo chamber of rejection. Rejection isn't a monolithic experience, of course. It comes in many shades, each with its own unique sting. Romantic rejection, for example, is often the most intense, because it involves an intimate vulnerability, a sharing of our deepest selves. It's not just a rejection of an idea or a friendship, it's a perceived rejection of our entire being, our capacity for love, our desirability. The dreams and future plans we might have woven with that person shatter, leaving behind a void that feels unbearable. It's like a part of your future just vanished into thin air, you know? Social rejection, on the other hand, might manifest as being excluded from a friend group, not being invited to a party, or feeling like an outsider in a new environment. While perhaps less intense than romantic rejection, its cumulative effect can be profoundly damaging to our sense of belonging and social identity. It makes you feel like you don't quite fit in, like there's something missing in you that others possess. Professional rejection, like being turned down for a job or having your ideas dismissed, impacts our competence and our career trajectory. It can be demoralizing, making us question our skills and our professional worth, especially in a competitive environment like ours. It's not just about the job, it's about the validation of your hard work and talent. Then there's familial rejection, which can be the most deeply scarring of all. If we don't feel accepted by our own family, the people who are supposed to be our first and strongest support system, it can create lifelong wounds, a persistent feeling of unworthiness. This type of rejection hits differently, because it's from the very people who shaped us. And sometimes, it's not an overt rejection but a subtle, persistent sense of being overlooked, of being invisible. This can be just as painful, a slow erosion of self-esteem, a feeling that your presence doesn't matter. It's like you are shouting but no one hears you, standing there but no one sees you. So, how do we navigate this incredibly painful landscape? How do we cope when our primal alarm bells are ringing so loudly? The first crucial step, often the hardest, is to acknowledge the pain. Don't suppress it, don't pretend it doesn't hurt. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, the anger, the disappointment. Trying to intellectualize it away immediately can be counterproductive. Your body and mind are signaling distress, and that needs attention. It's okay to feel bad, truly. Next, practice self-compassion. This is incredibly important, yaar. Instead of berating yourself with negative self-talk, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend going through a similar situation. Remind yourself that rejection is a universal human experience, not a reflection of your inherent worth. Tell yourself, this hurts, but it doesn't make me less. Perspective taking can also be immensely helpful. Often, rejection is not about you at all. It could be about the other person's insecurities, their preferences, their current circumstances, or a million other factors completely unrelated to your value. We tend to internalize everything, but sometimes, it's just not personal, believe me. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or even a therapist can provide invaluable comfort and perspective. Talking about your feelings can help process them, and hearing that you're not alone in this experience can be incredibly validating. A good listener can help you reframe the situation and remind you of your strengths. Building resilience against rejection involves understanding that it is a part of life and learning to bounce back. It means actively challenging those negative thought patterns, focusing on your strengths, and reminding yourself of your worth. It's about not letting one negative experience define your entire future. Every rejection can be a lesson, a redirection, a chance to grow and adapt. Perhaps that door closed so a better one could open, you know? Ultimately, understanding why rejection hurts so deeply isn't just about self-help, it's about empathy. When we grasp that the pang of being excluded is not merely an emotional slide but a primal, almost physical wound, we can approach others with greater kindness and sensitivity. We become more aware of the impact our words and actions have, the subtle ways we might inadvertently cause pain. It encourages us to foster environments of inclusion, acceptance, and understanding, both in our personal lives and in broader society. Because fundamentally, what we all seek is to belong, to be seen, to be valued. So, the next time you feel that familiar sting of rejection, remember this: it's not just in your head. It's a testament to your deep-seated human need for connection, a primal alarm bell ringing to remind you of the importance of your social bonds. It's a powerful, uncomfortable feeling, no doubt, but it also underscores a profound truth about us as a species. We are designed for connection, built for community. And while rejection hurts, it also reminds us of what truly matters, the delicate, vital threads that weave us all together. The wound may be invisible, but its message is clear: guard your connections, cherish your bonds, and remember that even after the deepest cut, healing is always possible, and new connections are always waiting to be forged.